So welcome to our orientation. My name is David Fruman. I am a professor in molecular biology and biochemistry, and I was the director of GPS Biomed and am now serving as academic director of GPS STEM. It's great to see you all here. Before I talk a little bit, I'd like to ask you to raise your hand if you are a member of the 4 schools. So first, biological sciences. Okay, school of medicine, physical sciences, and engineering. That's great. Any programs I didn't mention? Yeah? Pharm Sci. Okay, good. Well, that really is gratifying because the big goal of GPS STEM is to take what has worked with the biomedical community and expand it to other disciplines, whether they're in biosci like ecology and evolution or disciplines in physical sciences and engineering that aren't traditionally supported by NIH mechanisms. So 5 years ago, we started this with a grant from NIH, and it was one of 17 experiments around the country to try to identify best practices in professional development to prepare trainees at the graduate and postdoc levels for diverse careers, not just outside academia, but within academia, but the realization that you're all qualified with your PhDs to do a lot of fulfilling careers in life. And it's been a success around the country in these 17 award sites, and it's been a tremendous success here at UCI. Every year we've seen increased enrollment. I think word of mouth has convinced people it's good to join this program and to take advantage of the opportunities. And the faculty have been supportive, and the administration has been very supportive. And in the end, we were able to obtain continued funding for another 5 years through contributions from those 4 schools that I mentioned, as well as the provost's office. And for the last year, the program has been led on a day-to-day manner by Dr. Harinder Singh, who was the associate director of GPS Biomed, and he's now, yeah, he cast me aside now. Recognizing his competence and independence and ability to lead the ship and captain the ship, he is now the director of GPS STEM. So that's really all I wanted to say. I'm pleased to see you here joining the program, and I will hand it over to Harinder.
So leadership, as David mentioned, this is how we've been, and now roles have changed a little bit. We have 2 of our interns who are with us, and I'll introduce them to you very soon. They do a lot of stuff related to video recording and newsletter stuff. So this is the GPS Biomed program, which David mentioned that this was funded by NIH, and there were 17 different sites. UCI was one of them. So you guys are very lucky to be here to be part of this program, which has been running very successfully for past 5 years. And we've really been able to take our students and postdocs to the next level where be competent for any kind of career. The traditional model in biomedical sciences. I'm going to talk about biomedical sciences just briefly, a couple of slides, because this original program was related to biomedical sciences, but all the programming elements could easily be applied to any career. So the traditional model, which you will get to hear a lot from your faculties also, it's about do your PhD, get a postdoc position, become a faculty, become a teacher, but there's tons of other things also you can do. And NIH actually realized that 5-6 years ago that there are tons of other things you can do during this PhD training, and we do train you for all those things. So this is a best broadening experiences in scientific training model, which has says that you need to have you can be trained for all these different careers during your PhD, and right after PhD, finishing your PhD, you can get into multiple different careers which come out of it. You don't have to necessarily do a postdoc, or you can do a short postdoc if that's not what your goal is. Our mission of the program, which is still going to stay the same, but we're going to change from biomedical sciences to other STEM disciplines, is we want to expose you to make you aware about variety of different careers which come out of PhD and postdoctoral training. Not only will make you experience great scientists, but it will also make you great professionals so that you can get into any field after that. So there are 4 elements of the program based on the previous platforms, career development platforms which people have developed. That's called MyIDP, My Individual Development Plan. How many of you are aware about MyIDP? Great. Oh, wow. So this is going to be your basis for graduate education. A lot of grants you're going to write, they're going to ask you for MyIDP, and even during your career PhD thesis, committees, they will be asking, some of the department schools will be asking for a MyIDP. So get used to that. We have a workshop coming up in a couple of days. Please attend that workshop. 4 components to this training. There is career exploration, where you will learn about many different careers which exist coming out of PhD. We give you training for that, those specific careers, whatever you end up deciding that you would like to get into. You will gain some hands-on experience by whether it's teaching or industry, site visit stuff. I'll get into that, those details briefly. And the transition part will actually help you to transition to that next level by connecting with alumni, online networking, and going to networking events. So this is a couple of examples of a couple of events which we have been organizing in the past. A lot of it, the stuff is pretty much going to stay the same, but we will expand it to other STEM disciplines. We do career night and networking mixers, where we've organized events related to teaching careers, regulatory affairs, careers in medical affairs, medical devices, medical science liaison, medical writing. Data science is something which we plan to do, and we've been collaborating with School of Engineering to come up with new ideas and innovative approaches, programs which can be applied to any discipline. We have another career exploration event, which we call it Life Beyond the PhD. This is an event where we bring our alumni who come and talk to you about what steps they had to take to get into where they are, whether it's academic research, teaching, or industry profession. So it's a very casual question answer session where you ask questions, they'll just briefly take you through, their career journey, and we use whiteboard, they'll write things, and it's really fun event. We've actually organized a couple of events with the people from local companies where they teach you industry insider, give you the basics of the whole field. We've done really interesting events also. A lot of people have actually, after PhD postdoc, they've gone into beer making and wine making. So we had speakers come and talk about their career journey, how they got into that. Got into really super details, but then, it was a great informational session for people. Business concepts, it's very important. It can be applied to any STEM disciplines. Biomedical scientists slowly have been realizing the business concepts, how important they are, but other STEM people are really into it. So I think it will help you to polish those skills that, if you're thinking about, coming up with their own startup or something, will provide those avenues. Now when you think about career and professional development, academia gives you all these trainings, but then you have to really realize that all these trainings which you do during academic PhD postdoc can easily be applied to any industry setting. There are many different skill sets which are in high demand and to get into industry or in academia. So these are the things which you will learn during your graduate training and postdoctoral training, and we will actually build on top of it so that actually you know the language, you're able to write those keywords in your resume, and during interviews you can talk about it. One of the big one is science communication and public speaking. I mean, I wish I had enough during my graduate school and postdoctoral training. I'm here, I'm talking, my heart is going really fast, but I'm struggling. But I think, I wish I had some sort of training where somebody was teaching me how to calm your nerves, how to go up there and give a scientific conference at international big conferences. So stuff like that. Even we'll give you training on how to actually really distill down your research. That's the main big component of our program. Teamwork, you always work in the lab, in teams, there are conflicts, you need to learn how to resolve those conflicts. This is an important part of getting into any career, that you need to learn how to work in teams. Project management, business concepts, you need to multitask, you have multiple projects going on, you'll have just one project you'll have to manage, you have to have really good skills, how to do that. Networking and community building. It's not only in industry careers, but even in academia. When you go to conferences, when you finish your PhD, getting close to finishing PhD, you need to line up a postdoc position. You have to talk to people, go up there. You cannot be just nerdy and saying well, I have a great CV with tons of publications, I will get a postdoc position. Those things are gone. You really have to be proactive for your career. Understanding the knowledge of science and policy. I'll get into that. We do a lot of stuff related to science policy also. So these are different programs which we sort of made this diagram for you to understand that we really prepare you for all these different skills. Very important part of our program, as I said, science communication. Bree McWhorter from Activate to Captivate, she's master's in fine arts. She will help you to calm your nerves down. She'll give you like these, basically like she uses her acting skills to help you to teach scientists how to do effective communication. There's a certificate program we run, and you have to be members to be able to participate in that course. She also runs elevator pitch workshops where you will actually really distill down and bring your research for. I mean, if you were to ask me about my research like a year ago, I would take 30 minutes to talk about my research. But you need to really bring it down to 2 minutes depending on what situation you're in, which circumstances you're in. So that's the training you'll get during these workshops. This is Bree running her workshops. She's amazing, and she also runs interview skills workshop. For those people. This is a training component, and this is a transition component. All those people who are actually getting into going through interviews, she'll help you what sort of questions get asked. So it's a great program. I'll highly recommend, but again, you have to go through some of the programming to accrue some credits. Sandra Singh Low, she runs a podcast on NPR called Lowdown on Science, and Sandra takes a little bit more deeper approach into science communication, where she teaches you, it's a 10-week-long course where you will bring in your research, what you work on, and you'll really break it down and still keep the key content, technical contents in it. And this communication skills course have helped people give like great talks at conferences. Even grad research days here, people do amazing, and you can see that these people have taken her course. Even I think a lot of faculties actually benefit from how she's been conducting classes. So we have a YouTube channel, which is GPS STEM UC Irvine. You guys should all go and look at all the videos, which at the end of the class, she makes people record 5-minute TED-style talks, and you can watch all these videos and see how, learn about their research. You can see all the videos here. We will be recording tons of events also, whatever you're going through, and that will be posted there so that, sometimes you're busy in lab, you don't have time to come for these events, but you really wanted to. So we'll try to use YouTube channel more effectively to spread the information. The other part we are doing is we are partnering with Applied Innovation to give these business concepts for STEM sciences course. It just started a couple of weeks ago, and that's our way to bridge the gap between applied innovation. They're like super advanced people, talk about business all the time. You go through these networking events and they're talking about business model canvas, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? How can I get that information? So we're trying to bridge that gap, and you can actually talk about your research, put it on business model canvas, and if you're interested in starting your own business, you can do that. If not, at least good to know that business jargon to move into any career. UCI extension courses, we partner with Division of Continuing Education to offer you many different courses which you can take. In order to take these courses, you have to be an official member. What you're doing here right now, sitting here, you are partially becoming a partial member, and I'll talk about other requirements. As you attend events, we give you these credits, professional development credits. I'll talk about it in a bit. Once you accrue more than 5 credits, you're eligible to take these courses, which are more than $700 worth courses. I would highly recommend to participate actively and go through this process and learn these things before you get out. Experience part is where we take you out into the battlefield, sometimes I call it. We'll take you to the industry site visits. You see how the product pipeline works, how different pharmaceutical companies work, what's the different aspects of it, what different roles can you get involved in. So in the past, we've actually gone to Vertex Learning Labs in San Diego, Biorad, Pfizer, Allergan. They are all local here, very close. You can just drive over there, and you learn tons of stuff from them, how those industries function. At the end of it, they do networking event with their professionals. You get to learn how they can get into what they are doing right now. And most of them are PhD, postdoc background, so it's great to actually learn from these people firsthand and gain some experience. Internships is something we've been trying to build, but then there's a little bit of, it takes a lot of time from our programming. So what we do is we just connect you to those sources where they're looking for internships. We'll put in a reference good word for you if we know them, and if we know that you've participated in our program and you've attended a couple of programs, so you have these many number of credits. We share that information with them, and then that increases your chances of building your own internships. We don't really do internships, but we're thinking of more like shadowing programs. where you do soft internships. You can work with them without actually spending a couple of months there. You can just go there once a week and watch them, what they do, talk to people in that company, and learn from them. We do a lot of on-campus internships also, applied innovation and Office of Research. You can do some internships. The transition, the last part, this is like after you've gone through all this process, the last part, now you're ready to actually get into any career. You know what you want, you want to go there, but then you cannot do that unless you do the online networking using LinkedIn. You cannot do that unless you have training in how to network. Some of us are very we have inborn skills, like we know how to network, you're like hustlers. We can go and run in the room and talk to everyone. We have business cards from everyone, but a lot of us need that training, and I think we will give you that safe space to actually build those networking skills. We run this program called mentoring program. Just to tell you about the mentoring, the networking, so we are connected to a lot of different industries in Southern California. A lot of our alumni actually work in those companies, so they're always ready to help and come back and bring us, invite us to their industry site visits and networking events. We've been trying to build tons of networking events in partnership with other local companies. You'll get to hear more about that. A great part of our program is mentoring program. Lior, I don't know if you're going to talk about it. He's our current member. Mentoring program is where we connect you to alumni, and this year we actually, because of our context which we have built over the period of 5 years, we got mentors, professionals who served as mentors to mentor mentees, PhDs and postdocs. You have to do a certain number of requirements. You have to have PD credits to be enrolled into that program. This year we had around 40 mentors from many different professions, including academic research, including people who are postdocs in industry. So if you're thinking of industry route, maybe it's a great thing to sometimes do postdoc, and from there to learn about the industry, get into different careers. And that program runs for around 3 months. This time we took a slightly different approach because our alumni is spread all over the country. In the past it was only local, only people who are around here, they could come and attend, but now they're spread all over the country. We connect them through online Zoom platforms, so you can have we do the first meetings, and then you can build that connection or that relationship with them over the period of time. This is our one of the most popular program and most effective program. Industry mixers, where we bring people and we network with them, as I mentioned before. Another important part of transition, as I said, online networking. We prepare you for how to network online, how to use your social media channels effectively. With Lauren from Division Career Pathways, she's going to talk about how we've done certain things and some of the new initiatives they do. They are our collaborators in this training, especially the transition part. We do the basics, intermediate, and advanced level workshops, which really gives you the length and breadth of the whole LinkedIn platform, how to use it effectively. You should start building it right now, because a lot of us start to do it only when you're getting to the last, I'm finishing PhD in a few months, I need to learn about this. Then you get too active, and there is recruiters come and look at your activity. If you've been active on LinkedIn for a certain number of years, or at least a year, then only you will get noticed by recruiters. If you've been just putting all your effort just in 2 months, they know what PhDs do. They know that you are not prepared. So I would say just use this platform effectively from now on. There's a lot of news feed you'll see. How many of you have LinkedIn? Wow, why am I even talking, right? So LinkedIn is an online networking platform. You guys know it, but then you'll learn more about it, how to connect with recruiters. MedTech Mega Mixer is something we do. We've started collaborating with Orange County Biomedical Network, OC Regulatory Affairs, MedTech Innovation Exchange, Device Alliance, which is all medical device companies around here, and GPS Biomed. In the past, we did these two big MedTech Mega Mixers, which were great. And we had a lot of our trainees participate in that. And we did give them a little bit of training before they went over there, and then network with the professionals. So we take care of you before you actually go out there. Let's see. This is the most important part. I know you've been okay, this is a great program. How do I get involved? This is a professional development credits part. Every event you attend, we give you a professional development credit. MyIDP and LinkedIn, we actually give 2 PD credits because this is a little bit more involved. If you attend this Life Beyond the PhD series, you get 1 credit for that. Career panel events, if there is networking with that, then we give you 2 credits for that. If you go for alumni career panels, there also, if there's networking, we give you 2 credits. So pretty much like if you look at it, you are sitting here, you got 1 credit. You filled up the form, a lot of you have LinkedIn profiles, you gave me a LinkedIn profile URL, you got 1 more credit. You're going to now do MyIDP and fill it up and then share it with me. If you don't know how to do it and you've done it, but just somebody asked you to do it, you would like to learn more, October 16, we have an event like on Wednesday. You should come for that workshop and learn everything about MyIDP platform. Train part, like science communication skills, elevator pitch. When you attend these things, we give you 2 credits, and these are more involved. These are core competency aspects, and we want to make sure that you have at least one of those if you participate in like bigger mentoring kind of like programs. Experience, if you do internships or shadowing, we don't give any credits because this is pretty much on your own. If you're interested, we're not going to force you to do this. If you want to do it, but no credits. But you know that that's going to help you a lot in future. Transition parts also give you 2 pretty credits. The reason why 2, because they are more involved. It takes tons of courage to go up there and talk to people and just like find like some common talking points, and since we'll prepare you for that, you go for those things, and that's why you'll get 2 PD credits. So pretty much like just within a week, if you did this, you go for MyIDP, you can get like 4 credits, attend 1 more event, and you can take any of the courses from Division of Continuing Education. Participating in mentoring programs also involves like more than 5 PD credits. There are some high, very popular events. Sci PhD we used to do, but then business concept for scientists. STEM scientists, we just started this time. It's a pilot program. We open it to everyone, but moving forward, the program has become very popular, and we will be actually asking for your PD credits to enroll into that. So just stay engaged. Let's see. So this is YouTube channel, elevator pitch workshops. We put all those videos here. You can listen and watch those videos. How do we keep you engaged other than just coming for events and doing all that? Other way of, when I talked about YouTube channel, again, I've been living in big cities, Philadelphia, Chicago, never needed a car, public transport was great, and I would listen to things online on podcast stuff. But here people drive a lot, and people think, well, if I miss an event, I'm driving for 1 hour to come to work. I'm busy in lab. I don't have time for this thing. I'm going through my PhD training, postdoc training. This is why we're trying to build these YouTube channels where you can listen to those things, tap into that resource anytime, and even if you miss an event, you can follow what happened in the event. We do newsletter. You miss an event, we do recap of every event, and there we tell you what was the major points discussed and the resources which they discuss. This newsletter is also, it's a weekly newsletter where we put, there's a lot of stuff going on campus. There's a lot of stuff going on in local area, and you need to be aware about that. You don't have to go to spend 1 hour on LinkedIn, Facebook, getting emails, tons of emails from all over, and you get lost. I mean, I know what I was like. I'm like, what do I go for? Like, can I get one resource where everything is and I can pick and choose? So we're trying to build this as one-stop shop where you'll get all the information in one place. And along with that, we'll have a lot of career development articles, a lot of job opportunities, a lot of alumni keep posting jobs, and we will write in parentheses that if you're interested in this job, write to me or one of us so that we can connect you to that recruiter or mentor who can help you to get your foot into the door. So follow this, after you leave this room, we'll put all your emails into the newsletter listserv. If you don't like it, there is an unsubscribe button at the bottom. You can get out of it. Okay. These are our alumni testimonials. We have a long list of alumni who've gone through the program. They're in many different kinds of jobs, and they're always happy to come back and talk to you. They're in science policy, and they're scientists now, and she's a medical writer, so they're always happy to help come back and talk to trainees. This is the most important part. I really wanted to show this slide because when I talked about the traditional model, and then I talked about the broadening experiences in scientific training, and I took this different model, National Academies of Sciences, Engineering and Medicine came up with this report last year, how to revitalize the STEM education for 21st century. They gave tons of recommendations in that. It's so good to see that people actually realizing that how important it is to give more diverse training. So that we really fulfill directly like one of the aspects, which the main part, career exploration and preparation for PhD students. We have to give an overall intellectual development, comprehensive knowledge of different careers, so we are directly fulfilling that. We are really at the forefront of this National Academies of Sciences. Our programming is advanced, and it's one of the unique ones in Southern California. You're all lucky to be at UCI and part of this program. I would highly recommend to take make best use of it. One of the more innovative aspects we are talking right now is GPS STEM radio. This is again one of those things. If you cannot attend an event, put your headphones on, work in the lab, and then listen to all the great speakers who we are not going to be able to bring now because of the compressed budget. But since we know them very well, we'll connect with them online, and you can listen to them with career advice they are giving. They're going to be different kinds of podcasts, science policy one, career and professional development, science writing, so stay tuned for that. Science Cafe is our new initiative, which is going to be launching tomorrow. This is one place where you're going to polish your writing skills. You're going to be working with your PI. I know there'll be time they're not happy with your writing. You're going to feel discouraged, disappointed, but this will be one place if you want to practice your writing skills. We will help you to edit articles and everything. You can put that on your resume when you're applying for any kind of position that you do have some writing experience. So this blog is going to start very soon. We call it Science Cafe. Interns. So we have two interns working with us, Joanne and Sharon. Joanne does the multimedia. She's the one who's recording this thing right here. Sharon does the newsletter. We'll be recruiting more interns in future, but we have something called as Trainee Council or Think Tank. And that's the one where if you have PhD students and postdoc participate in our programming. Our program is unique in a way that I have PhD postdoctoral training, David is a faculty. We try to do best what we think you guys need, but at the same time, we have to involve you guys also and give us feedback about what we should be doing more. So this Trainee Council Think Tank is composed of PhD students and postdocs. This is where you will participate. You'll give us recommendations, what we should be changing if we have left some voids, which you can help us fill. Out of that Trainee Council, we will be picking up some interns. You can work with us. All the experiences, high demand skills, which I mentioned, we provide opportunities to do internship with us for 3 months. So just stay tuned for that also. Are there any questions?
I just finished. Thank you. That was great.
Yeah, with the wrong slides. No, it was great.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Like Corinner said, my name is Lauren Lyon. I am the Graduate Career Counselor over at Division of Career Pathways. I know you've taken in a lot of information already, so I'm just going to be really quick. Basically, I just want you to know that I exist, and I'm here to help you anything career related, which is why GPS STEM and my office work so well together. But essentially, this is our goal, right? So we want you to just gain knowledge of what's out there, your different options, whether in academic or non-academic paths. And be able to identify skills, training opportunities, things that you can do to enter those meaningful careers. So like Corinna was saying, we're going to take an approach that's going to encompass kind of everything, that holistic approach. So self-assessment, what really are those interests, those skills that you want to use, those work values. Do you want to make an impact? What type of impact in that work that you do? How can we explore? How can we make the decision to narrow it down? And then to that point to actually apply. So following that same path, that are those pillars of GPS STEM, which is why we work so well together. So what does that mean to you? Essentially, I want you just to learn how to verbalize those. So in everything that you're doing when we're ready to transition, you're taking these courses. If you want to meet one-on-one with someone, have an appointment with me. Come to drop-ins. Let's practice what you've been learning through GPS STEM and throughout your work. If you need to fill in gaps in funding, you need to find those summer internships, let me know. We can work through that together. Develop a CV or a resume, LinkedIn profile. We do all that stuff here. We work together. But if you want that more one-on-one, individualized appointments, that's through me. Okay? And who has heard of Handshake? Before I forget. Good. I'm so glad. So Handshake is the way that you'd get connected with our office, Division of Career Pathways, right? And that's how you would make the one-on-one appointments. You'd find out about events, workshops that are going on through our office as well. So make sure that you're connected. Everyone has an account, you just need to go in and activate it. And last thing is practicing for interview strategies. So I know it's not realistic to always come in and have one-on-one appointments. They're typically about 45 minutes. Do them when you can and when it makes sense for you. But there's a lot of different ways that you can take advantage. So for instance, career fairs. This Thursday, we have our STEM career fair. Is anyone planning to attend? Few, maybe, okay. So if you're just interested in any kind of summer internships, in particular full-time jobs outside of the academic realm, then it would be a great place to start, to look at the employers that are coming. I think there's over 150 employers that are coming, and it's solely STEM related. So make sure you check it out. Everything is on Handshake if you want to look. But that's on this Thursday. Also, employer info sessions, and then one that's useful for you is just different technology that you can use to kind of supplement the appointments, the different events that go on through GPS STEM. So we talked about a Handshake. VMock is an AI machine that will review your resume for you instantly. So you probably all have CVs, but how do we convert that CV to a resume if we are looking more at those non-academic jobs? This is a great place to start. Big interview, helps with interview skills, teach you how to interview, and also practice interviewing. Excuse me. Versatile PhD and Imagine PhDs are just tools online as a resource for you to be able to see what other careers are there besides academic careers. Okay, so just for you to bookmark and explore at some point, or come and see me and we can work through the different areas together. The basics, so we're located on Ring Road. Do you know where the Student Center Starbucks is? So we're directly across from there. So if you ever do want to come to our events, see me, just stop in, pop in, and we can say hi. Services are free for students, so make sure you use it while you are a current student. And we're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Throw in, I already said the STEM fair. It's 10 to 3, October 17. Also going to plug in, if you are looking for an academic job and you just want to learn, there is a Preparing for the Academic Interview panel next week as well. That's it for my slides. I wanted to just throw it at you and be real quick.